Hello everyone, I hope you're going well. Today we are going to talk about a game that I just played uh, in a rapid game on chess.com. So before the game starts, I know that my camera and my microphone aren't so great for the moment, but thanks to the new students that I just had on Fiverr, I can just improve my YouTube channel. So if you want to improve this YouTube channel, you can just go on my Fiverr. For the moment, you can still buy my courses for $5. So if you're looking for a good chess coach, you can just go check out my Fiverr profile. But yeah, my goal is really to reach 1,000 subscribers. So I hope that we can achieve this goal together. So yeah, let's just look at this game. This is a small lecture about the modern defense. And the reason I'm playing the modern defense is that I try to play some openings which are very good and good in order to win and so on. So yeah, I played on chess.com against the FIDE master from Italian. Actually, you can just go check out his profile, Chessburger TV on Twitch. So you can just go check out. Actually, he has a YouTube channel. I will see if he analyzes this game because it's a pretty good game. But okay, in every case, he started with e4, g6, d4, bishop g7, and we have the typical modern standard line and so on. And actually, I analyzed the game a few days ago. Actually, I posted this game a few hours ago, but I posted this probably a few years ago if you looked at this upload right now. And I had the same position until a certain move. Why bishop e2 and not bishop d3? I already talked about this, but when you put the bishop on d3, the queen isn't controlling the d4 square. That's why bishop e2 is a little better. c5, and now it's pretty important to notice that if you castle, I can just take, and after knight takes castle, it's a typical classical Sicilian dragon variation, but white made a small castle, which is now more complicated for white to attack on the king side because the king is on the king side and not on the queen side. During the game, he played d takes c5, and by the way, if you play bishop e3, I can just take, and knight c6, for example. Queen d2 if you really want to, and queen a5, and this is a typical dragon position, and if you do a long castle, for example, knight g4, I'm winning already the bishop pair. It's not so easy, but it's still a little better for black. So during the game, he took on c5, I played queen a5, and he castled. If you take on d6, very important, just keep it in mind that now you have knight takes e4, and you're attacking the c3 knight with the bishop, the queen, and the knight. And after bishop d2, you can just take, let's say b takes, bishop takes, queen d2. You can just trade and take back on d6, you're just up a pawn. So in the game, of course he sees that because he's a FIDE master. He decides to castle, queen takes e5, bishop e3, queen a5. If I play queen 7, then knight b5, and it's already a very difficult position to deal with because e5 is coming, and the king is just wide open. There are just too much activity on the queen side. It's just losing for black already. So that's why I play queen a5, because if you play knight b5 right now, you're not threatening anything. I can just go a6, and if bishop d2, I just go back, knight c3 and b5, and now I'm just a lot better in this position. But in the game, queen a5, I really thought that he will continue with the theory that I know, rook b1 and b4 and so on. But he decided to play queen d2, and now I was a little, I don't know how to say it, but I was just sure that my opponent missed something. First, I understood that he wanted to play bishop h6 because my knight isn't on g8 anymore. If the knight is on g8, bishop h6 is not possible. But since the knight is on f6, now it's possible. So I thought about knight c6, or I thought about knight g4. Actually, I would play knight c6 in the game. If I play knight g4, there was just bishop f4. And after, for example, knight c6, h3 this, I wasn't quite sure if I want to play this type of position. Bishop h6, castle, and I do know right now, because I already analyzed this game 2 or 3 times, I do know that I'm a lot better in this position because I'm controlling the center a lot more. But okay, still I wasn't quite sure. In the game, I decided to go knight c6, bishop h6, and castle, which is actually the top engine line. And the idea is that, actually, before I talk about the idea, after bishop h6, I also wanted to take and play a move like queen h5, and if we trade, I'm a little better because more active, and my pieces just come on their natural squares pretty fast. And if you play a move like queen d2, in order to play on the spin, just bishop g4, bishop h3, this. And of course, now that I have analyzed this 2 or 3 times, I know that I'm better with black because I'm just controlling the center a lot more than white. But yeah, it's still pretty difficult when you do not notice. But okay, I play castle, he took on g7, I took back, and h3. And now, I was looking for a good way to use bishop e6, because bishop e6 is just the move in order to have a joyous position. But what happens after knight g5? Actually, I can just go back. Now the knight is misplaced. Let's play knight f3, for example, rook c8. And this is the same position as this one if I played bishop d7. But because he played knight g5 and knight f3, it was my turn to play. But now it's white's turn to move. That's why bishop e6 is actually the best move. But in the game, I wasn't sure if I already wanted to play bishop e6 or not. I just wanted to be more relaxed. That's why I played a6. And now the idea is just to play b4, b5. He played knight d4, and now I missed a tactical shot which hurts so much, honestly. I saw that I have knight x e4, but what I missed, because actually if you play knight x e4, I can just take on d2, you have to take the queen back, and now I take on d4, I won a pawn. But the problem is that I completely missed a move. Here, I didn't play knight x e4 because of knight x e6. If I take on d2, he takes there, I take the rook, he takes back, and he has two pieces against the rook and the pawn, which is of course bad for me. But what I miss is that in this position I have a very strong tactical shot. So you can actually, I think you see the move already, but the move is queen takes c3, which is a brilliant move. What happens? If you take with the queen, I just take there, I'm attacking the rook again, so you have to move the rook, then I take, you take, and I'm just up a pawn. And let's say you take the queen with the queen, I take back, and I'm still attacking the knight, and I just missed that. And I will have a second opportunity, I will play bishop d7, king h1, now I have a second opportunity to play knight x e4, but I still missed that, so yeah. And now I play queen b6, and I missed my tactical opportunity in this game. Yeah, it happens. Just we have to stay aware on this type of moves. He played the move knight b3, and now I play, of course, rook d8, but now I just understood that my position is a little worse because of the move knight d5. Now when I started to feel a little angry, I just missed that queen a7 is a good move, because after takes, pawn takes, it seems like the pawn is hanging, but actually I can just grab this pawn on h3, and now I'm just a lot better. He has to trade the queens, and now I'm just better because my rooks are a lot more active. I have a better pawn structure, and yeah, better because more solid. I'm controlling a lot of squares. But yeah, in every case, I just missed that. Yeah, it happens. But then I just understood that now I have to concentrate myself again and play the best moves. I took on d5, pawn takes, and knight b8. And now it's pretty interesting, because I had a plan of going on b5, on a4, or on f5, in order to go back with the knight on the central squares. But of course my opponent saw all of this, he plays the move c4, which is a great move. Probably a4 more accurate in order to stop both of my plans. But okay, I decided to play the move e5 and not e6. If I play e6, I will just attack the pawn, and if he takes, bishop takes, now I'm better again, or at least I managed to solve all my problems, because let's say this and rook d1, just knight c6, and now all my pieces are playing again, and there is just no... This is a small weakness, but there is no more problems. I would just jump on e5 and it's fine. But okay, in the game, I played e5. The idea was just to close this diagonal, and if he doesn't take, somehow this pawn is strong enough to hold the c5 push. But now he has a clear plan. He will try to play b4 c5. That's why he plays the move knight a5. The plan is to play b4. I play a5. Why? Because I already understand that I cannot prevent him from playing the move b4. That's why I have to find some counterplay on this side. And now we will talk about practical play. He will play the move b4, which is of course the best move. I draw some lines, some arrows. Why? Because in this position, he can actually win on the queen side pretty easily. But now I have to win on the king side, on the green arrows. That's why I play the move f4. f4 it's not a good move at all. But now he has to deal with f3 ideas, eventually some sacrifices on f3, the pawn on h3, the queen which can go back, and so on. That's why he played the move c5. He's very active and very strong. Of course I take. Why? Because if I play queen c7, it's fine. But I just see that after a move like that, I will just lose. It's sure 100% because of c6, a4, b5, and it's just over. It's just over. And I'm not in time to play queen c8 because it just takes and I'm losing a piece or a queen and so on. So yeah, that's why I take, because even though now this pawn are very scary, it is still hanging pawns, and still it is hanging pawns. It's still probable. Actually he will probably lose one of them because these are still weak pawns, even though they're very aggressive looking right now. They're still weak. He play I play queen c7. He played rook d1. He's attacking my pawn, and now of course that's the reason why I play bishop c6. And now, even though it's still winning if he plays a normal move like bishop f3 like he played and so on, still he has some problems to solve, because he has only 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes 30, and still the pawns are pretty weak, and my pieces start to be very active. My knight will go back into the game. He cannot play a move like that because he will just lose his knight, and if he takes pawn takes, I'm fine. Yeah, so it's still not so easy. He played the move bishop f3, and now of course I played the move queen f7. Of course I'm still losing if he just defends his pawn, but still it's not so easy to deal with, because you can already think like, okay, but now I have to do something. So I'm just playing the guy next to me. I'm not playing the position, or not completely. I'm just playing the guy next to me. For example, after a move like that, I was probably going to play a move like that, and if he moves his queen, then I don't know, rook takes d5 or bishop takes d5, and if he goes there, for example, let's say he goes there, and e4 and so on. Yeah, okay. But in every case, he decides to go on c3, and now I know that I'm still losing, but I still take on d5 in order to create some problems. And by the way, he's just winning if he plays this type of moves, which aren't easy, because you had to win with the d pawn since, I don't know, 5-6 moves, and now you can only win because of the c pawn. It's not so easy to understand. So he plays queen takes e5, I play king a6. Why? Because I know that if I play queen f6, he can just trade everything and win all of my pawns, and it's just losing. That's why I play king a6. I'm not trading the pawns, and if he takes, then rook takes, and it's already better for me because I will grab the pawn back. My knight is going into the game. I can still defend with rook d7. So in the game he decides to go back on c3, but now I can just play rook d7. I'm consolidating my whole position, and after the trades, now I know that I won't lose anymore because the pawn is just perfectly protected. He has no more hanging pawns. I traded my e pawn for his d pawn. The king is now open. I have some f3 ideas, and now he has some time pressure problems. So he played the move queen b4, and of course I played a small tactical strategical move, knight c6. I'm trading more pieces, and he cannot take because it's defended. And yeah, and now he has to take. I can take back with the pawn, which the engine wants me to play, but I took with the queen, and now it's a little worse because I miss a small tactical opportunity. He played rook fd1, and now I understood that I won't lose anymore, but now I have to be active in order to put him under pressure, because psychologically he was just completely winning, so the game was probably already over. And now when you see a move like f3, you can just start to panic and think, oh, but now I will just lose the game. And he's a FIDE master, and it's normal that he still makes this mistake. What happens if he takes on c7, by the way? I can just grab on g2. He moves the rook, he moves the king, and after I grab, there is a very strong move, c6. And after queen f7, defending everything and so on, he just has check. He defends the pawn, I move, and rook takes. And it's not so easy, because he has to find this small position. He has to find his defensive resource with queen h4 defending the pawn, letting the pawn going on g2, and then rook takes b7, and it's not easy at all. And he missed that. That's why he played the move g3. But now after queen e6, I'm still creating some pressure, and because he had the winning position and now the position isn't winning anymore, a small pressure that I'm applying is already enough to win. He plays queen h4, which is a mistake. Now he has no more advantage because the pawn is just too weak. This isn't so weak because my rooks are defending correctly. King g7, he took on d7, I took back. King h2, he just goes comes back from every sort of checks. No, I just play queen d2, activate myself. Of course, I'm letting him spawn, but again, it's not so easy to deal with. It's already a draw, actually, so it's pretty easy to do a small mistake in this position. But okay. Actually, he has to find queen f4. With some time on the clock, he can actually find this pretty easily. But yeah. He played rook f1, and now he has actually no more time, that's why he blundered also. And now here I tried rook f7 because I wanted to go rook d8, and let's say he pushes the pawn, I can just grab here and mate. But I cannot because the queen is controlling the square, so I'm playing rook f7, preparing rook d7 and defining everything. He cannot, of course, check me, and this is a draw, and this is exactly what he did. Rook f6, and here he played rook d1 instead of just taking the draw or playing rook b1 and even winning the game. Yeah, but yeah, it's still a practical choice for me to play rook f6 and not king g8, because king g8 is just a dead draw. I mean, check, and yeah, over. But yeah, he played rook d1, I played h5, creating myself some squares, check, rook f7, this, and putting my king on h6. Actually, I offered him a draw, but he refused. He took some seconds and he refused. And yeah, now it's just a dead draw, complete draw actually. But okay, he just refused, I don't know why. But okay, since he refused, it's not my problem anymore. Why did I offer him a draw even though I will win on time? Because I'm not the type of player who enjoys winning on time. Honestly, we are playing rapid games on chess.com in order to work on our chess possibilities and skills and so on. So it's just weird that he just refused to accept the draw. But okay, I won the game, even though it was a draw. But in this game, you saw what happens when you play practically, what happens when you defend properly, when you do not attack properly, and so on. You also saw some tactical and theoretical positions and ideas in the Pirc and modern defense. So if you have some more questions, just go in the comment section. If you want to support the channel, just go take one of my courses on Fiverr if you want to. See you in a future upload. Take care, everyone.